Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video for Shadows of Brimstone Forbidden Fortress. So this is the most recent Kickstarter of the various Shadows of Brimstone games made by Flying Frog Productions. Thanks to a friend, they've gotten the whole Shogun level Kickstarter and are letting me do the unboxing videos as to show things off. Might be able to do videos later on it, but hey, time will tell. Regardless, let's get inside this. So I've played the original Shadows of Brimstone. Belongs to the same friend, and they really enjoyed the series. So when this one came around, they jumped on it, missing the previous Kickstarters entirely in the past. And this one I almost got myself, just for the theme. Because, yeah, I always love ancient Japan theme stuff. Alright, so, big game. This is the same size box, in fact, I think the same vacuum mold insert as the original Shadows of Brimstone. And it is models. It's your board game! Big surprise! It's a lot of models, cards, and all sorts of different kind of things. It's somewhat of a role-playing game in which you will make a character and have a character sheet and have to track all that stuff, as well as having time between missions if it's anything like the original game. But, I don't know. I'll find out eventually. My job is to assemble this stuff so we can play it. But, regardless, let's get started on showing what's in here. So, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is off the top of my head. I've only looked at the Kickstarter a couple times. Once just before this and once when it was actually active. But we've got all sorts of different kind of things. Again, I will be assembling most of these. And if they're getting painted, they'll be put on my channel. If people have requests of things that they'd like to see painted based on what's in the box. That looks like actually an Oni off the top of my head. Mainly because of the spiked mace hexagon? No, rounds. Sometimes they're very edged. Then we've got things with wings, multiples of those. I think the first screw might have been characters. Some worm-like monsters. Various samurai armor characters. I would take these things out of the bag, but I need to keep them a bit organized. Something with a lot of hair. Like, that's all hair, not tendrils, although they look like they're function as tendrils. And there's a head on there. That's the body. And then something really big. Like, easily twice the size of everything else. So then we've got some dice. We've got a D8 and a stylized D6. It's in the same style as the core game. Then some basic six-sided dice with pips, red and white. Instructions for building everything in this box. And I say this box for a reason. There's more. Not this video, but this is just the core game. Alright. Now, that's all the miniature stuff and the dice as well. Then we've got the advertisement booklets halfway through the box. Okay. We've got the various characters and monster cards. So this is not what you modify, this is just your baseline. And the game series has been pretty good with the fact that it's, you know, both genders. One on each side. For the same class. Although sometimes the name changes, it's based on situation, of just like, what was the appropriate name of that title for that gender. I believe Entertainer and Saloon Girl were the same class, but just different genders. We got Assassin, Samurai Warrior, Sorcerer. Yeah, like, for example, Sorceress, Sorcerer. Simple things like that. Traveling Monk. And that's all the classes in the core game, so there's only 4, which I believe there was for the base one as well. And then we've got different cards for the various monsters. I believe one side is elite. Yeah, one side's normal, one side's elite, or whatever term they use for it. So there's Dishonored Dead, Harino Nago, Oni, living statue. That was that one really big monster. Tengu. I wanted to say Tengu, but I couldn't see the super long noses on the models. I guess I must have just missed it. That was the thing I was looking for. But the wings also kind of imply that. Acid blobs and acidic tentacles. And that's all of those cards. Then we got an adventure book, which is pretty thick. So this is all the scenarios and the various things. Like, this is for the setting itself. Usually you go back to town or something in between missions. Then there's the actual rule book, which is almost as thick as the scenario book. And then some thicker cardstock cards. One of which is the town or village. I don't know what it actually gets referred. Feudal village this time around. And then each of these has a corresponding location, which is what a lot of these are. So, like House of Healing, Tavern, Swordsmith, the feudal village itself. Usually there's an event when you get there, and then every time you go to do something other than a simple purchase or a simple task, you roll on an event table to make things happen. This is Shadows of Brimstone in general, regardless of which version it is. Also, regardless of which version, there's a music CD for ambiance and stuff like that. I believe this actually comes with any of the games. With the original version, there's actually 2 core games, and it came with the same CD. It's good to see that this one is entirely different and fits this theme more. So, stuff in the middle. And then we've got cards. 4 packs of cards in total. So let's get these opened up. Now, a lot of these are not so much a deck of cards to shuffle through as they are items trackers and stuff like that. Although some of them are also decks to shuffle through. Like, this is how you know what to spawn and such, or what kind of rooms to design. But, like, one of them is literally your extra bag. It's called Side Bag, with a 5 and 7 slot version. Then, world cards. This has always had some otherworldly kind of thing, not just the world you're in. The first version was basically a cross between H.P. Lovecraft-inspired work and cowboys. Or a Wild West kind of theme. Then, what are these? Ninja clans. 4 different types of ninja clans. I should just start from the back. Samurai battle tactics. Okay, these look like cards that are specifically meant for the classes, and then it goes into fire, earth, water, and wind elemental cards. Some of the classes get unique cards. They're all upgradable over time, but they all start out with some unique thing to separate them to begin with, and then usually you improve upon that as you go. Like, I remember in the core game, one of them was just a crazy dude with dynamite, who got really good with dynamite. And dynamite might as well have been the holy hand grenade in the old game. Then there are item cards. Oh, and the map deck. So, we've got a gear deck, which I think is stuff you buy normally. Bandages, sake, bomb, flintlock pistol, tonics, potions. I don't know how to pronounce that one, but it's a rifle. Elegant fan, grappling hook, Akuma mask, straw hat, Jingama, Tengu feather, weapon poison, dragon helmet. Nothing real unique about it, it's just a helmet. Shoulder armor, and it goes on. And in the back of that pile were some personal items, which I don't really know what the difference is between those and these, but like scribing, lotus flower, worn ribbon, lucky sash, all sorts of different kind of things. I think you might start with one of those. Then we've got the map deck. This is how you construct your map usually, is you randomly draw one of these and then follow some rules in terms of setup from there based on what you drew. Encounters are the various things that I believe happen at the end of each round to make it so that stuff is really interesting. Some of them are just events, and others are, hey, you found something. Some good, some bad. Some of those finding something's not so good. Alright, and then this looks like the monster deck, or at least partially. There's definitely some character cards here. But right off the bat, we have the monster deck, which is split up into low, medium, high, and then epic, which is where a lot of those unique monsters are. One of them is literally just draw more stuff in place of the epic. And then some monster trait cards. It looks like it's specifically the statue and then the lady with the really long hair, and then 3 versions of each of those. Then we've got some what look like other items. Scavenge. Oh, no, loot first, which involves a lot of different things. I think this is what you get every time you kill something. But dark stones are a thing that are, to my knowledge, across all the games. It's one of the common elements within the setting. But then things like gold nuggets, gold bars, a card that's literally called "This Should Come in Handy." And some of these are also worth XP if you don't want to keep the item. And then scavenge, I believe you get to, it's basically search the room, and you get to do it once per room, not per character, as a group. Because, yeah, this is a co-op game. But anything ranging from nothing here to useful discovery. Then darkness. So it looks like the Cthulhu-ish element is still there, except it's instead changed to ancient Japanese myths. And basically, the dungeon gets darker because you keep going in deeper and you keep pushing your luck, and it gets worse, and that's what these cards are for. I believe these are effects that can stack with each other, and you draw them as you go. Like Spirit Swarm, Creature of Legend, Overpowered, or Surrounded. So, all sorts of different kind of things. Then we have Growing Dread, which I believe might actually be the stacking thing. I'm not sure. These are definitely things that I'm not familiar with, because I don't know what they may have added to the game in general between the original and this version. I think there's been a whole other version in between. Then we've got some class cards. And it looks like 4, 3, 3. So the Sorceress has 4. And the other 3 have 3 each. But Samurai has things like Wall of Steel, Determination, Rising Sun, Assassiness, Smoke Bomb, Running Assault, Ruthless, Traveling Monk, Acrobatic Flip, Fists of Fury, Defender of the Light. And then the Sorceress has Elemental Blast, Arcane Protection, Demon Fireclaw, and Blood of the Dragon. No idea what any of those do. And then onto our last pack of cards. Which look to be all sorts of different kind of things. I'm not entirely sure how these work. These might literally just be sets of summary cards here, so not really too sure on those ones. A small deck of starting gear, which has an old lantern, samurai armor, warrior katana, samurai hat, ninjato, shurikens, pair of sais. Speaking of which, as a note, people think sais are meant to be stabbing weapons because of how they're seen used in a lot of movies or the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're actually meant to be blunt beating implements. The hooks there are designed to block blades. Roku Demon Bag, Sacred Bell, and Monk Staff are all the starting items. And what else do we got here? Map Deck, Belly of the Beast. Like, that's the general back for them. Oh, yeah, it looks like at some point in time you're able to go inside a monster or something. Again, otherworld kind of things, those do come in handy sometimes. As I'm thinking, there's got to be more in here because I still have yet to see the tiles for this game. Or the punch-outs. They're probably under the tray. We'll get to that in a bit. And then these look like the oh, wait, what's this? Otherworldly threats. I think it's summarized drawing like what you deal with if you go to another world. Artifacts are the rarest type of items. Just all sorts of different kind of things. Passage encounters. And then more regular encounters, but for the belly of the beast. So, as I was going to say, before realizing that I missed the punch-outs entirely, the board is made up of a bunch of different tiles that I mentioned back when I showed off the map cards. And the nice thing about them is, like with most games, one that comes most to mind is Imperial Assault. They are different on each side. Not, oh hey, here's a slightly different layout. It's like, no, one biome is on one side of all of them, and on the other side is the other biome. So each of the core boxes, or any box that really has terrain in it, has two different biomes entirely. Or at least usually. And to my knowledge, this game does have a degree of mix and match. Like, you can match it, mix and match the original set with this, and oh boy! Yeah, I don't know why this wasn't on top. That is, at the size of the box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 punch-out boards. Woo! Yeah. So let's get to these. Come on. Doop-a-doop-doop, being stubborn. Stubborn things get stabbed. What? There we go. Haha! Victory over the cardboard. Well, actually over the plastic. So, a lot of tokens are the same on both sides. So we've got what look like the corrosive blob things, although those are red on one side, green on the other. Poison, I'm guessing dead bodies, sanity, wounds, because this is one of those, you have a sanity, mental health as well. Various different items, such as bandages or bombs, and that's to keep track of what you have in your bag. Wounds and sanities in smaller amounts, same thing with poisons and bleeding. Then we have the depth track, which is how you track how bad things are going, and then all sorts of different kind of icons in general, including tokens for the 4-player characters. These are 2 rings to track actually the various things on here. Corruption tokens, the dark shards or dark crystals, a flying frog production token in the samurai outfit. I think that's supposed to be the 1st-player token, but, like, here's what I'm guessing is the entryway to the map in general. There usually is one. And as you can see, it's more of a Edo period castle on one side, and then on the other, it is flesh walls. And then, for the most part, we just continue with some tracking tokens and the board. The game does come with various pieces like this, which are to cap off the various exits within a room tiles to represent that it's a dead end. I don't think that little dead end counts as a separate room, but I don't remember. This one's also got a couple tokens for explosives, which are blank on the back, as well as some other things were. Or not blank so much as they all say Shadows of Brimstone. A key token, there's another one down here. And then you can see some larger tiles with the game map itself, some even larger ones, some letter tracking tokens, some more for the playable characters. I imagine that's if you
don't want to use the models, or it could be for... No, actually, I don't really remember. Whew. I don't know what a lot of these are, so I apologize for the fact that I'm just kind of doing a quick, here it is. Oh, and that's a really big tile. Then we've got a lot more what look like status tracking tokens with mana and key and fury, as well as a couple other things. And more big tiles. Then we have one that lists the demon. Little angry face Oni there. And more stuff. I think these are meant to be portals. They look the same on both sides, minus the ground. And then with a lot more dead ends and some ensnared tokens and stuff here. And now, that is actually everything. Sorry I almost missed all that stuff underneath. With that, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, please share this video. Either way, you'll help this video get seen more. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, feel free to comment in general, such as if you want to see this game in more detail, like my normal board game overviews. As a cautionary note, if you do want to see that, it will be a while before I get to that, as I still have a lot to do with Kingdom Death. And again, not my game and I don't know it. But I will end up learning it because it's going to be getting played on that table. Or at least that's my guess. And I will be assembling the models for my friend for this. If you want to see stuff painted, feel free to ask. Although her preference it will prioritize because it is their copy, not mine. But I can still try to get around to them. And if you'd like to see more like this, be it my unboxing videos, my board game overview videos, or my painting videos, and anything else that I do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.